Come back to another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this wide leg palazzo pants you are seeing right here. It looks so beautiful. So this is what I got right here. You can see the flare effect right here is not too much. It's not too much. I'll also show you how to make it bigger if you want it wider than what we have. This pant also has two side pockets, as you can see. So what I love so much about this pant is the flare is not too full. It's not too full. So I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to making a wide palazzo pant so full, less full, moderately full, depending on how you want it to look like. Here you can see my two side pockets. You can see the band is also well fitted. The zipper is fitted at the back as well. This palazzo pant is really very beautiful. So we'll dive into this tutorial right away. Please stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. I made use of 3.5 yards of silk fabric or crepe fabric. But I use silk. You can also use crepe. I'm going to make a borderline of 1 inch on my paper. I made this pattern very simple so it will not waste time. And I marked 4 inches. After making 1 inch at the starting line, you make 4 inches in front at the edge of the paper the way I'm doing right here. You mark 4 inches all the way down. The 4 inches is our crouch extension line. Now we are going to, this is the waistline. Next you are going to do is to place your tape on the waistline. We are going to take away the band. The band is 2 inches. You take it away and then mark, use your hip circumference divided by 4, add 2.5 inches to it to get your crouch length. Here is my crouch length. I'm going to rule a line across it. Then after the crouch length, we are supposed to mark the hip line. So I'll place my tape on the waistline and measure the hip line. So the hip length, make sure you also take away the 2 inches. My hip length is 10 inches. So I mark 10 inches right there. We are going to connect the line as well. So we'll go over to the waistline right now. Here is the hip line and this is the crouch line. The crouch extension is 4 inches, which we marked earlier. This is the center front and center back. We are drafting the both of them together. On the waistline, impute your waist circumference, divide by 4. Whatever result you have, just mark it on the waistline. On the hip line, you impute your hip circumference, divide by 4. Then you are going to connect from the waist to the hip. On the crouch line, we are going to take what we have on the hip line and mark on the crouch line. You connect with a straight line. Then go over to the hem line. But before that, we want to get the length of this pant. You take off your 2 inches band length. The length of this pant, I used 45 inches, including my seam allowance. After I'm done hemming, I'll be having 44 inches. So I went ahead and ruled my line and marked what I had on that crouch line on the hem line to create a straight line, as you can see. Now we are going to divide the hip into 2. Also divide the hem line into 2. We want to cut open this pants. Okay, we are going to cut it all the way to the waistline right now. We are going to tear it open so we can be able to slash and spread. Here, I'm going to make a diagonal line so I will be able to get my crouch curve. So once you have made this diagonal line, you can now place your ruler, your curve ruler, and create the curve. Next, we are going to mark 1 inch downwards for the tummy drop. That is for the front piece. Like I said, we are drafting the back and front pants together. So here is the tummy drop, 1 inch downwards for the tummy part. Now we are going to reduce this crouch, reduce the crouch by 1 inch. So I marked 1.5 inches, sorry. So just do 1.5 inches on that part. So that will reduce the crouch length for us. You know the front crouch is usually shorter. So I'm using another marker for you to note the part that is the front crouch. The back crouch is the 4 inches. The front crouch is reduced by 1.5. So this is the center front crouch line. This is the center back crouch line. So the center back will also have a zipper. I just tried using a red marker for that curvy part. So all the part with red is going to be for front, while the part with black pen is going to be for the back. So now I'm going to come down by 1 inch and mark my pocket. My pocket opening is 7 inches. So we are attaching the pocket together, as you can see. Then I am going to shape my pocket. The pocket depth is 10 inches. So this is how I shape. The paper is not enough to accommodate the shape of that pocket. So I'm going to increase it while I cut on fabric. Then on the center back, there will be a zipper. Now I took off my 2 inches and I'm going to mark my zipper at either 8 or 9 inches. But I use 9 inches. The zipper allowance is 1 inch. I added the 1 inch zip allowance and that is how I added it. I'll go ahead and do what? And mark my zip allowance. That is that for this pants. So we are going to start cutting out this pant right now. We are cutting all the lines on the outside, the black lines. And we are going to cut the back piece of this fabric, the back part of the pattern first. So I want you to watch to see my lines which I'm cutting. You can see I'm cutting all the black. After cutting the black lines, then we are going to dive into cutting the red part. So anywhere you see the red marker, that is the front pants. So I'm going to cut through the shape of the pockets. So this pattern is actually very easy. It's just very easy. Something you can just make in 10 minutes. If you mean it, 10 minutes is even too much. Then you can keep it to make different pants patterns. So I am going to tear open, as you see right here. So while I want to use this method, this slash and spread method, is because you can easily control the amount of flay if you don't want it so much. Okay, if you are using the circular method, it might be so much. So here, this is how you spread it. I opened it with 15 inches. So you open at 15 inches if you want what I have. You can also do less than 15 inches, like 10 inches if you don't want it much. You can also open very wide as 20 inches if you want it big. So that is the tips and tricks. All you need to do is to place your pattern, place your fabric on fold first, okay? I'm using 3.5 yards. What I did was I marked the midpoint of 3.5 and folded for one part. I believe you understand. So everything will be equal. I've added my seam allowance. I added half an inch all over my pattern. And you can see the down part looks a little bit curvy, while the upper part also looks a little bit curvy. Now I bring back my pattern to the table so we'll be able to cut out the front piece. So you can see how I cut out the front piece. Okay, I took away the zip and I took away that crouch line, the excess crouch line. So the front crouch line is usually short. That's why I have to cut it this way. I'll go back right now. The remaining fabric, I'm going to cut this out for the front. Here I've cut out the front and you can identify the difference from the front and the back. Here we are done. Next we want to start joining them. The part I have here is the front piece I'm going to lay the front piece right side to right side, and we are going to stitch the crouch line. I'm using 1/2 inch for all my stitchings. I'm done stitching the front piece. I'm going to join the back piece. So the back piece is the part that has the zipper. So you can see it right there. I'll place it right side to right side, and I'll go over. I'll leave the zipper opening and stitch below the zip at 1/2 inch. After stitching, this is the zipper line. You can see how it will lay for you. And this is the pocket piece. So we are going to place the front pants right side to right side of the back pants. Arrange it very well, and we will stitch 1/2 inch into the pockets like that. So I added excess to my pocket, so it was not actually equal for front and back, but I'm going to trim it off at the end of the day. That is not a problem. I'll place the other side and I'll stitch from the waistline. I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch inwards to the down part. Here I am done stitching. The next we want to do, like I said, I added excess to the pocket. I'll just go ahead and trim it off. That's all. Now the next we want to do is to close up the crouch part. But meanwhile, let me just make notches on the pocket. I love to make these notches whenever I fix a pocket like this. That is to ease that part. So you make notches the way I'm making right there, but be careful you don't cut into the stitches. And if you notice, I am also reducing the excess pocket I added. So the next thing we want to do now is to stitch close the crouch parts. Here is my 1 inch zipper space which I added. I'll pick up the crouch for back and front, open up the seams the way you see me do, secure with your pin. Make sure they are matching very well. Then we'll go over to the machine to stitch them down. So here you can see me pinning it. So you will stitch them down right now. After stitching, this is what we got. You can see the crouch part. Next, you are going to take the measurement of all you have on your waist, all, including the zip allowance. Whatever measurement you got there, cut out your band with it. Here, I've already hasted my band. My band width is 5 inches. And I also iron 1/2 inch on one part. That is the part that I'm going to top stitch. So you are going to place the band right side to wrong side of the pants, stitch 1/2 inch all around, then top stitch with the part I folded in 1/2 inch. See my band right here is looking very actually beautiful. So I'm going to sew my zip as you can see, and that is the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.